What up, everyone, and welcome to the channel. On today's episode, finished tearing down the back wall and I run into some problems. Let's get into it. So I ran into this. I thought the frames for the windows were, at least this one, I thought was okay because I saw that corner there and I was like, oh, that looks in pretty good shape. But when I popped this off, I noticed that there's either termite or some sort of bug that got into the wood. I had my suspicions because I started seeing this. I don't know if you guys ever, I don't know if this is like termite poop or just, I don't know, wood shavings from the bugs eating the stuff, eating the wood. So long story short, I'm not keeping the frames. I'm gonna make new frames. Boo. And I'm just gonna try to salvage these little plastic pieces because I think they are gonna help me when I trim the plywood around these corners. It'll make more sense once I do it. But for right now, take measurements off of these and go in my garage. That'll be, if I can get that done tonight, that'll be good for me. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing tonight. Alright, so like I said, made the frame for the windows. Nice, fresh new frame. Pretty simple. The staples were just kind of hold it from moving. And then I drove a 3.5 inch screw through here. All the corners, obviously. So all I have to do now is see if I can reuse the plastic gussets that go on the corners. And I'm actually going to grab the window and test fit to make sure that my measurements were correct. All right, so it fits. It's the right size. And again, we're just, like I said, missing the little gussets so that when we cut the plywood, obviously you're not going to see any of the frame and it'll follow the curve of the window. So let me go see if I can pull them off the RV. And put them on there. And that will be, yeah, that'll be a win for tonight. I wasn't able to get much done. Got a late start on the day. But if I can finish this, I'll be happy. All right, so took the little plastic gussets out, put them on my new frame. just stapled them on. That's how they were. So yeah, keep in mind that this is not really structural. This is more for, I keep trying to explain it, but when I trim the plywood, I'm not going to cut it with a jigsaw or anything. I'm actually going to use a router, and I'm pretty sure that's what the fabricators did, because I could see the chatter here from a router bit. So actually, I probably should have stayed away from the corners now that I'm mentioning that, but maybe I'll pop some staples out and put them in after. So actually, let me show you the router bit. Maybe it'll make more sense. All right, so this is the router bit I keep talking about. So this is what's gonna ride on this plastic, the bearing part, and the cutter is gonna cut the plywood that's gonna be on top. So to make my life a whole lot easier, I'm just gonna skin the whole rear of the RV. So the entire sheet's gonna go. I'm just gonna drill a hole with my drill bit and pop this sucker in there and just follow along, and it'll give me a nice rounded corner. Obviously it'll be straight here, and yeah, cool, it's all done. It was pretty easy. Took me maybe all in all 30-40 minutes to do the window. So tomorrow my goal is to finish demoing. Not that much left. It looks like a lot, but I actually stopped because of the window. Finish demoing, put the new window in, pretty much put all the framing pieces back, and if we're feeling froggy, we'll start putting in the insulation. I don't know. I think all of it's going to depend on what time I can get out here and start to work. See what time my boss, Baby Vincent, will relieve me. So stay tuned, guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying all this. I don't know if I'm going too deep into it, but yeah. See you tomorrow. Put in this stretcher here, and oh man, the ladder's in the way. So I screwed it into the side here, into the frame. I don't know if you can see this one. Yeah, I freaking ripped this, but anyway. So got the screws in through there. Curiously enough, on the other side, the frame is not the same. So if you notice here, it's just, I don't know, maybe like 1 inch or 3/4 inches here. Here, the frame is like this frame plus the frame that goes this way. I don't know. In any case, it's double thickness. So I didn't want to do a 3.5 inch screw, so I ended up doing pocket screws and going in through here. It's plenty solid. It's not gonna move, and I'm gonna go down on the window frame with screws this way. So this is not the new window frame, by the way. This is the old one. I wanted to put this piece in before I put in the new frame, so that it kind of set my height, so I don't have to measure or think about it. And I marked the ends so that I know left to right. Well, you know, It's just gonna have to be centered, but anyway, just a little less thinking of having to measure stuff. Made my marks there and over there. So that's where we're at. All right, guys, demo is done. So a couple of things, well, more than a couple of things, but mainly I gotta take off those screws that are sticking out, actually. I'm gonna cut them off because I think they're not driven all the way from the top. They're captured in between the two pieces, so just cut those off. Another thing that I noticed that's kind of weird or worrisome is this isn't attached. So like this frame is not attached to this frame, back here. And this is all loose. And I don't know, unless I pull the screws out, I don't know. In any case, I'm gonna screw it. I'm gonna screw it back down to that. Clean all this off. Put the window frame on. Yeah, it's a whole lot more to do. But I just kind of want to show you guys the progress. I know it looks scary, but I think we got it. Another late night. You guys see the theme? I like working at night, right? So left off yesterday, finished putting the new window frame. Looks pretty good. I put in this piece down here at the bottom. I lowered it a little bit just because I wanted it to match where the floor ended. And then I put in the first piece of insulation. So next I'm gonna put in the plywood, the back piece of plywood, which is back there. It's already cut the size, so that when I do my insulation, it'll have something to glue onto instead of just leaving it floating. So that's next. All right, so I got the bottom half all put together, insulation's in, I put the plywood on the back, I put this piece back on, still gotta peel this off, but I don't know, I just thought maybe it was there for a reason. So I sprayed in the foam wherever I kind of saw gaps here and there. It might have just been in vain, but whatever. Tomorrow when it hardens, I'll just cut it off with a razor blade. It's not that hard to do, and I figured any little bit of insulation will help There's a little bit of a bow on this piece, so I gotta figure out how I'm gonna pull this back. I made some cuts, but I didn't want to cut too deep to kind of relieve some of the stress on the 2x4, which is causing it to bow. But anyway, I think it looks good. Halfway done. Maybe I'll do the other half tomorrow, and then the fun part will be putting the skin back on, so we'll be able to see a complete wall. It's a lot of work. All right, so I got out here a little bit earlier. Sun's still out. Oh, excuse my truck. So I came out here and actually I didn't even have to cut this stuff. It just kind of breaks off. I'm gonna put on the second board. So I could have gone 4 feet and it would have ended up like somewhere here, but it's obviously gonna be much stronger if it's in between these boards. So I'm gonna put one that went from the floor to about halfway there. The next one's gonna go halfway there, and the last one's gonna go from halfway to the top. So it's all gonna fall in between one of these boards. It'll kind of make sense when I put it up, and you guys will see me cut out the opening for the window, put in the insulation, and then do the last piece of insulation on top. Whew. And after that, skin the front with the plywood, which is here. Well, actually, this is the piece that's gonna go up here. So, stand by. I don't know what happened, but the phone stopped recording, and of course it stopped right when I was doing my cutout. The one I've been going on and on about, reusing these as a guide and whatnot. But anyway, it's cut out. Looks good. Now we just gotta do the last and final course and insulation. Put the laminate back on, slap the window on, and we'll be done. All right, so second row's done, insulation's up. Actually, the third row, I think I might have made a mistake by thinking that piecing it in 3 pieces would make it stronger somehow. I actually think it's actually weaker because there's more joints. So when I do the front, I'm only going to do 2 sheets of plywood, which will, yeah, it'll cover this. I think it's under 8 feet from down here to up there. So that's what we're going to do. 2 pieces. I want to get 1 piece put on before I finish tonight. I'm going to put the bottom piece on and router the tail lights and then whatever section of the window it covers. All right, I'm gonna call it a night. I ran out of glue, so I can't, well, yeah, I can't do the insulation or the paneling, but look how good this looks. Got my cutouts for the lights. Before they were cut all the way through. I don't know why. I don't see the need for that. They fit in here. And we'll just hook them back up, and they get screwed on here to the aluminum little frame that was back there. And the only little problem I had is that I realized this is over 8 feet. So I'm gonna have to scab a little piece on here to make up this difference. But I think that should be all right. I didn't want to do it in the middle. I thought about cutting in the middle and bringing them apart and just putting a little piece, but I kind of want to leave this intact and so it could be rigid. But it feels great. I mean, obviously way better than what was there before. So the next step is, like I said, finish up the insulation, finish skinning it, and then putting the laminate, or what's called Phylon. I'm not sure why they call it that, but that's, I don't know if it's like an industry name or, but whatever, the skin, the final white stuff that goes on there, and putting the lights back on, and we're done. It was a lot of work. I'm kind of scared to do the long side. I think we're gonna have to cut it into pieces, into sections. But anyway, here it is. This is where we're at. All right, so look how good this looks. I'm super impressed. I got to the point where I was a little bit overwhelmed, but you know, like so many things in life, you just gotta go at it one bite at a time. You know, that's how you eat an elephant. And this is definitely an elephant, because we're gonna have to do the whole long wall over here. But anyway, almost done. I staggered the top one, so you can see I'm missing the little piece here. I gotta knock off that foam, it's still a little wet. And then this piece here. So I decided to stagger them so they wouldn't be on the same side, or you know, this wouldn't run all the way through. And that's that'll be the last of the framing. Then it'll be on to attaching the Phylon, the laminate, which will be interesting. Not attaching it, I don't think that will be the problem, but cleaning off whatever's stuck on it might be a pain in the butt. But all done. Got my little lights cut out, little marker lights. So we're gonna be legit. And yeah, I'm excited. From what it was to what it is, super excited, super happy with the end result. About halfway done. Like I said, it's a lot easier just doing it dry without this stripper stuff. As a matter of fact, the areas that I sprayed the stripper on were way harder to take off, like way harder. So like I said, halfway. Still need to do the bottom half, but we're getting there and getting after it. All right, so I know I've been saying it's done, but now it really is done. I put on the little scab piece here and the other piece that was missing up there. I also put these on. I didn't have these in here. I forgot I needed to do that. And here I hit it with the grinder a little bit because there was a little bit of a step, so I want to put the laminate. I don't want you to be able to feel or see the little step, which I don't think you will, but anyway, that's what that's addressing. Same thing here. Whoop, right there. And right there. So that's where we're at. Wish me luck. I'm gonna try to hang the pylon sheet without breaking it or me falling on my ass. All right, let's go. My bad, I forgot to turn the camera on, so, but you guys haven't really missed much. I haven't attached it yet. It's still loose. It's just held on with clamps and a few screws on top. So the idea is I'm gonna peel it back because it's not glued and glue the bottom half, stick that down, and then take the screws off that I put some screws up there on the very top. You really can't see, but take those screws off and then glue the top half and put it back up. So I'll make sure to turn the camera on so you guys can kind of see the process of that. All right, guys, so I got it, well, half of it, the bottom half is glued on. It was kind of sketchy, the gluing up part, just because I'm doing it by myself, and I know I probably shouldn't have done it the way I did, but whatever. I got it on. The bottom half's on. I ran out of glue, so I won't be able to do the top half until tomorrow. I'm gonna do that little fiberglass repair in the corner. I'll show you guys how I do that. And it shifted a little bit, I noticed, but nothing to worry about. It still fits. My moldings are still within tolerance where, you know, I'm not that off. I'm probably off maybe an 1/8 inch at the most. I don't even think it's that much left to right. So we're good. And I've got a little surprise for you guys that's gonna make the back of this RV look a whole lot better. So stay tuned and check out what I've got in store for that. All right, guys, so got the second half glued up. Everything looks good. Like I said, I still just need to fix that corner, and I'll document that so you guys see how I do that. There's also another little crack on this corner. I don't know if you can make it out up there. So I'll repair that as well. But everything went well. I realized I forgot to cut out and snub out the wire for the license plate light. So I'll have to do that. I want to show you guys what I use to, whenever you do laminate or anything, it's a good idea to get one of these little things. It's called a J roller. It applies even pressure. It's way better than just, you know, using your hand or a block of, I've seen people use a block of wood, which might damage the surface. So this rolls It's on a little bearing, and it's pretty inexpensive, and it's a good way to really lean into it and make sure that your material gets good contact with whatever you're gluing it onto, in this case the plywood. So all done. Up next is the fiberglass repair, and then I'll let you guys know what the surprise was that's gonna make the back end of this RV look way better. Well, actually it's gonna make the whole RV look better. All right guys, hope you enjoyed. Until next time, goodbye.